Well, where everybody at? I am late. I can't be back somehow. Hi. Hi, everybody. It's Mama Clark. Welcome to another session of Healing with Mama Clark. I'm Mama Clark, the mother of Stephon Clark, and I'm sitting right here next to Mama Jenny, the mother of Soraya Jade. And we're going to have a new theme song, ladies. It's called We Win. And I speak that into existence for all of us. So, speak it right there. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. Just we're here at Stephon's house. I want everyone to be encouraged that we win. We do win. It's not a fight that we're going to be fighting for the rest of our lives. We're going to fight and win and enjoy the rest of our lives. Seated in justice. You feel me? And if anyone wants to know the name of this song, it's We Win. It's Little Baby and Kirk Franklin. Yep. Talk to God like I need this to work. Nothing mine like I need it first. But I was being self. Know it's gonna affect a lot of people. I was being careless. Took a break and stepped away. I'm coming back when I get ready. I know this break people into pieces, but I ain't gonna play. You're crazy for this one. Hey, all the captains out there. Feel so good. Okay, so we want to send shout outs to my sister Ella Williams for a mantra that she spoken to us today. She said, the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. Be patient. Trust the process. Amen. We're going to type that in. Patience, say one day. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. Be patient and trust the process. And then another one, we'll do this one after. Okay, we'll do that one. All right, y'all. Hey, we win. We win. Hey. All right. I received that. What about y'all? Does anybody receive that? Most definitely. So we're going to go right into Healing with Mama Clark and our curriculum because we started a new month. So we start a new step in the grief process step. And we are on number 6. Healing with Mama Clark curriculum. And then, so number 6 says, grievers need to know they're normal. The death of a loved one makes the future very uncertain. We might panic in the face of the unknown and fear life without the one who died. Panic prevents concentration and defers acceptance of the finality of death. It tempts us to run from life, to avoid people, and to refuse to try new things. We might even think we're going crazy. Patience with ourselves and a willingness to accept helped enable us to subdue panic and outgrow its confusion. So grievers need to know they're normal, right? We've been talking about that and talking about that, that there's no sense of normal to go back to, that we are creating our new normal as we go. Right. And it's scary, yet exciting, right? But it's both. It's definitely a host. We were talking about this on the way here. It's definitely a host of mixed emotions. And definitely we're encountering new emotions that we didn't even know existed. And yeah, we need to know we're normal. So it says the death of a loved one makes the future very uncertain. We might panic in the face of the unknown and fear life without the one who died. And so that's the first part of the step that we're going to be working on. The panic that comes when we accept, the panic or the fear that comes about when we even think about accepting the fact that our child has died. It's scary. It's scary. It can take you into a panic at any given moment. Um, yeah, it's and then the fear that I really have a life without my child, without them.
That and makes me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
It really makes me nervous because you just don't know what's going to happen the next few seconds. That's scary.
Yeah, that is scary. So I sent out the topic for the day, and I encouraged us to address that by making a list, 2 lists. So 5 things that we buried with our child, 5 things about ourselves that were normal for us that we've buried as a result of our child's death, as a result of our child's death. And then 5 things that we've discovered that are new and positive about ourselves since the death of our child. So let's start with me. Yes. We'll start with me. 5 things I buried with Stefan. So, initially, let me say this. Initially, so this list will change. I think this list grows because initially, when Stefan first died, I buried trust. I buried peace. I buried hope. I buried faith, and I buried security. I didn't feel like my kids were secure. Yeah, and so but the peace and the hope and the faith, for me, it was surreal living without hope or faith or peace. You know, I'm at a different place in my life, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, and even physically. And now I've come to realize that there are some things that I buried with Stefan that I'm glad that I've buried. And so with that being said, this is my list for the day or for the season. This is my seasonal list, I should say, for the things that I buried with the death of my child with Stefan. So I buried complacency. I buried settling. Settling for me, before Stefan died, I believed that the life I was living was as good as it was going to get. And I buried that thought because I knew that life could be better. I buried a sense of worthlessness. So when Stefan, throughout the cycle of his death, I have buried the sense of worthlessness. I know that I am worthy of so many things. I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of recognition. Even if it's just for being the mother of my son. You know, I'm worthy. I'm worthy of a peaceful, happy life. I'm worthy. So my sense of worthlessness has been buried. I buried the use of drugs with Stefan. He loved me for who I was and what I did, and with the death of DeMarcus, I relapsed into drugs, and so I believe that was as good as my life would get, because the pain was so much greater to deal with daily. I'd rather be high out of this world thinking about absolutely nothing than thinking about the fact that DeMarcus was dead. And so Stephon was one of my children that really came to grips and terms with that I had chose that for my life, and he loved me beyond that. But it was his ultimate desire in his heart for me to be clean and sober. And so I buried the use of drugs with Stephon. I'll never use drugs again. I know that part of my life is over. I'll never go back to that reality. And I buried being broke. Let's say that, baby. Because Mama Clark will never be broke again. You understand me? You know, I'm going to get it. You understand me? And I'm not going to be okay with being broke, period.
Right.
Those are the things that I buried.
Okay. I buried, well, with this material, I buried a picture of Saray and I. And I put it in her pocket of her jacket next to her heart. I buried my heart. I buried the ability to trust anybody with my heart. Because I don't think I can ever give that much love again with the fear of having to lose again.
Woo, honey.
I buried happiness because Saraya she gave me happiness every day. You know, she was my rock. She stood by my side through the good and the bad, you know. And I buried feelings. I told myself don't want to feel again, you know. So I don't let myself get attached because I'm afraid of any kind of pain of that loss, of losing that person if I get attached, you know. Because Saray died last year.
Mm-hmm.
But the year before 2019, I lost my boyfriend.
And I didn't know that.
He died right in front of my eyes. And she stood by my side every day, made sure I didn't fall or break. And then when I finally got to that place of being okay, she died. So now it's just like, I'm afraid. So I buried all and everything emotional and feelings for anybody else.
Mm-hmm. I think people forget. Sorry, you know, I love your whole life. I know. I hope you know that, and you know, my heart goes out to you, honey. I remember being where you are, and so just be encouraged that, you know, it's a cycle. It's totally a cycle, and so you're going through this cycle right now. The part where it's just easier to do without it. I did that. I lived that for 15 years. My kids were not allowed. So I used to be the real lovey-dovey, kissy mommy. And when DeMarcus died, I needed my kids not to touch me without my permission. I needed no one to touch me. I didn't want to be touched. So I went from smothering them with love and affection to I got to be here. I can't risk getting my emotions involved because I'll lose it. I'll lose it. If something else happens to hurt me, I'll lose it. And so if I'm going to really purposely be here and get the rest of my kids through high school so that they have a fighting chance, because that's how my mind was, get the rest of my kids through high school and then they'll have a fighting chance, you know, then I can go on and die. That was my mindset. I don't give a damn what nobody said. And one day, Stephon came into the house and he ran up from behind me, and I was in the hallway, and he freaking kissed my face, right? And I was so pissed. I was so mad, right? And I turned around, and I punched him. I was like, I told you don't be don't touch my body without me knowing, right? And he was like, hit me. And he dropped to his knees and tears just start coming, falling down his face. And he was like, I don't care if you hit me, at least you're touching me. And I was just like, and it broke me down, like right then. I just hugged him and kissed all over him. But it broke me down because it was like, I really have taken that from my kids and from my family. The love and the emotion and the physical touch is important. And then our emotional touch is even more important. You know how someone, and so I want you to know that I totally get it. Because right now it's about survival. Yeah. Right now it's about, if I'm still gonna be here, I can only be here this way. I get that, but be encouraged that it will change. It will. One day. We don't know when. Yeah. And then, and we can't, you'll never hear me say it's gonna get better. I'm not saying that it's gonna get better. But what I was saying is that your perspective as far as being able to be emotionally present as well as physically present, it will change. Okay. God bless her heart. This is my baby, Sister Jenny. I hate that we met through this club, but I'm glad to have met you and then know you, okay. So those are the things that we've buried. And now we're going to share with you the things that we have learned about ourselves since the death of our child, because we are creating our new normal. And I am a firm believer of speak it, write it, and it is. That's the process, and we must trust it. Speak it, write it, and it is. Okay. So, oopsie daisy. With that being said, the 5 things I've learned about myself, or the 5 things that have become my new normal. Number 1, I am prosperous in every area of my life. Number 2, I am successful in every area of my life. Number 3, I'm a yayo. I'm a mother who has experienced the loss of 3 children. Number 4, I'm a woman of great faith. No longer is my faith buried. Now I truly believe that I'm here for a reason. I have lessons to learn and I have lessons to teach, um, and God got me. I don't have to trip off of the things that I trip off of because God got me. He has it. He has me. He has the battles. He has when I say that I'm going to be successful in every area of my life, I will have justice for Stefan's death, his murder by officers Jerry Mercadale and Terrence Robinette. I will have that. And so just bring the box, baby, if you see it. And so with that being said, my last one is I have purpose and I'm driven by it. So no longer do I have the feelings of worthlessness or complacency. I have purpose and I am being driven by it. I wake up ready to go. I have the nonprofit, which commemorates the life and legacy of Stephon Clark in a positive light, as well as bridges the gap between law enforcement and underserved at-risk communities. And then I have Justice Tree, the very platform that I'm also able to commemorate Stephon's life, but also celebrate the other lives that have been stolen from us. And for whatever reason. And here's the thing. I'll get my financial prosperity from my business, and I'll have my purpose-driven life established and confirmed through the foundation. And so with that being said, as long as I trust the process, I know that my new normal will be a good new normal. So those are mine. Okay, Mama Jenny.
Oh, okay. I have one, I've learned to live for myself. I try to do what makes me happy. That'll keep me laughing. I've also learned that I'm a lot stronger than I believe that I ever was. Um, I didn't think, you know, because I never thought I would be in this place, but I've learned that I am a strong person. I know there are people out there that doubt that, don't have a lot of nice things to say, but I've learned just to let it go. I learned that I can smile without feeling guilty.
Come on, girl.
You know, because a lot of times you do feel guilty when you smile and you're laughing, and, you know,
most definitely.
I've learned that it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I learned it's okay for me to be alone by myself, and that I don't need to be around people all the time. And I learned I can accomplish anything. You know, because this fight,
girl.
This fight,
right,
to be Soraya's voice, and not just her voice, but voice for all victims whose lives have been taken. It's changed me in all kinds of ways I didn't think was possible. You know, I mean, I look at life a lot different. I look at people different. You know, it's just, I just see a whole different path for me, you know, and it's scary, you know, because a lot of times I don't know which step to take. And I'm afraid sometimes I might derail off, you know, but I learned that, like you said, if I just trust the process and don't lose faith, I'll be okay. You know?
Because there's no right or wrong. It's just, you know, and so when you said your first one is I learned to live for myself, I really monster free that I learned when I was on the trip, when I was at the Circle of Mothers. I am the keeper of me. When you learn that you are the keeper of you, right? And so I'm the keeper of me. It's a positive, productive, optimistic thing to live for oneself and not to put those expectations of others into your life. You can't live for anyone else. You can't change anyone else. You can't fix anyone else. You know, you are the keeper of you. And then that says, okay, this person didn't make me feel angry. I feel angry because I'm the keeper of me, and I can choose not to feel angry. I can just choose not to feel angry. So I saw that. You know, and so, but do you get it now? Yeah. I'm the keeper of me. I can't keep how someone chooses to interact with me. Right. I can't dictate how someone speaks, drinks, thinks, does. Right. I can only be the keeper of me. And oh my God, it takes off so much stress because someone can be cussing me out and it's not gonna move me. I'm gonna be like, okay. Like, okay. I've also learned some new stuff about me, you guys, but I'm really going to share it. But let's just say that Mama Clark, I'm open to healthy change. I know today. Okay, so I say one more thing that I buried. Go ahead. I buried the need to be right. Girl, I haven't done that part. Girl, let me tell you something. I used to be the person that I don't care who said it. If it's wrong, I'm going to be right. I'm going to tell you about yourself. I'm going to, if I have to Google it, research it, if it's a month, a year later, I'm going to come back to it because I'm going to be right. I buried the need to be right with Stefan. And can I tell you this about a relationship? Keep going. A relationship that me and Stefan's relationship, and I think it's carried over to Stevante and mine. But the battle, the debate, the word debate, I've given up that need. Like I used to bet Stefan and I, no, because Stefan's a genius. Stefan was really, really smart. We would go back and forth with them words. Oh my God, trying to prove who was right. I am not tripping off it. You could be right, even if I know for a fact that I just read it in the dictionary. If you said that ain't is a word or it ain't, whatever. I don't care. Hey, okay. I don't need to be right.
Right? Let it go.
I just like, okay, you're right. You realize it will trip you out how many arguments just lose everything once you say, okay, I do this. You're right. Palms up. I'm not being aggressive. I don't want any problems.
Right?
you know, so the purpose of that process was to acknowledge um I was reading the notes. Somebody said they love you, Jenny.
Oh, love you.
It doesn't say the name.
Oh.
It just tells us Facebook user. It doesn't tell us the name. Sorry, but um, the purpose of this exercise was for us to acknowledge the things that we feel we have lost with with the death of our children, and it could be good things or it can be bad things. As you see, we came from different perspectives, so you know.
Yeah.
But if someone had asked me a year after Stefan was murdered, my list probably would have been a bit more angrier than yours. I was really angry. And so being that it is a cycle, right? We will go through so many different emotions. And we'll go through the grief process because it's a cycle. It's a cycle of life. So once you're grieving, you're always going to be a griever, you know, especially, in our situation, especially being a Yale, it's repetitive, the cycle. And so you'll go through different parts at different times of life. You'll acknowledge, you'll be like, wait a minute, I'm bargaining again. All of a sudden I've been bargaining again, or, you know, so that's fine. So right, because I'm more, my faith is at a place, is that my faith in God is at a level that it's never been before. I'm at an all-time high of faith. And it's new. It's new. It's weird, kind of, because I'm like seeing like really spiritually how all things really do work together for my good. You know, that's a trip too. But that was the purpose of the exercise, and then also to pay attention and acknowledge where we are today. You know, as a result of the death of our child, because there's some things like you were saying, you found out that you were stronger than you ever thought.
But you know, in the beginning, it's only been it's only been a few, not even a year, but just like within a week after Soraya died, you know, when people used to come up to me or just tell me, "Oh, you're so strong," I used to get angry. I mean, really angry, because you know, when you lose your child, you don't want to hear someone say, "Oh, you're so strong." I don't know how you do it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to have to be this strong. And so when people used to say that, I used to get so angry, and I'm like, why would you say that? You know, that's just, don't say anything to me, because having to be strong after losing your child is a horrible feeling. You know, it's not the feeling you want to have to feel when you wake up in the morning. If you wake up, you know, because I mean, I still don't sleep. You know, you don't really sleep, and so when I have to be strong, because I have no choice. I mean, I do have a choice.
Yeah, I could just break and die.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I know I can't allow myself to deteriorate, because that's not what Soraya would want. You know, because when I tell people, people's like, "Well, you hear Soraya?" Yeah, I hear Soraya. I hear her, and I feel her. She pushes me. It's like, "Mom, get up. What are you doing? Get up." And I hear it because she said it to me all the time. You know. And so I hear her every day pushing me and telling me, you know, get up. You've got a lot to do. And so I have to do it. And just last week, about 2 a.m, I woke up, and I knew I was awake, and I was trying to get up, but I felt something heavy on my bed. And I'm like, I know there's nobody in my room but me. And so I'm trying to get up, but my comforter was like a weight, and all I saw was shadows. And I prayed so hard, so hard. And after 5 minutes of praying, all that darkness and weight was gone. And I jumped out of bed and I looked, and I looked around the bed, under the bed, everything. And I'm like, oh, thank you, God, because I knew at that moment
that was going to break you.
Yeah, something was trying to stop me and break me and stop me from fighting. And I just prayed so hard, that, not to let me break, not to let me give up, not to let me lose faith, and because that was the first time in months that when I felt that scared, my first thought was God, not what's going on. It was like, God, help me, because I knew at that moment something was trying to keep me down, and that scared me, and I told my sister, and my sister's like, well, do you think, Saray was trying to tell you just to slow down? I'm like, no. I said, because when Saray talks to me and visits me, it's not scary, it's joy, because I always see Saray's face, and I see her laughing. And that night, it scared me,
I think that number one, I know that the mothers who have the yayos, women who have experienced the loss of a child, especially in a traumatic way, are chosen to do something through that. God chooses who's going to do that, know, and so our level of spirituality is unique, and so that was definitely a spiritual battle, and for you to have to press for 5 minutes to get through that is a long time. So it was strong and it was dark, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure it out, but God saved you. But you have the will to be saved. You understand what I'm saying? And so, you're strong, and you're a fighter, and you know who to look to when it gets too rough. And that's a process, right? It's scary, but you won. You won that battle. You're still here in your right mind.
If I'm in my right mind.
Well, honey, you ain't where you would have been if that thing would have won. That's true. What I mean? And so, shoot, bump that. I've experienced something very similar. So what I learned from it was that it just as much as God is real, so is the other guy. And it's just, you gotta know where your strength comes from, and you gotta know. So thank you for sharing that with us. I think this is the table. We're at the black table. We're not at the red table. We're at the black table, right? So this is the black table. No, this is a table where we can talk about the things that people don't like to talk about all the time, and because this is our safe space, and if it comes up, because that's the one thing that you see consistently with Healing with Mama Clark. Healing with Mama Clark, a safe space for mothers who have experienced the loss of a child to learn, to grow, and to heal together. And that's what we do. This is what Healing with Mama Clark is all about. It's for us to learn who, what, why, what for, how, right? And it's for us to grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, in a positive way. And it's for us to heal from the traumatic loss of our children. And we do it in a safe space, but we also choose to do it openly, because if it works for us, it just might work for you. And that's where purpose comes in at. I believe that every single mother that I sit with on this platform, our little clique of mothers, we banging. I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that each and every one of them has a unique purpose, and that that because we're all healing together, growing together, and learning together, we will all heal together, grow together, and learn together. And purpose is a big part of that. I see foundations in every one's of my clique's name.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
I see it for anyone who wants it. You know, if you want it, it ain't nothing to do it but to get to it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing to it but to get to it. You know, and so that's what we're doing here. And wow, we're kind of finishing early. It was 10:45 when we started late. Well, it's because it's only two of us. Because where's all the other mothers? Francis, Latanya, Tierlin, where y'all at?
But still sleep.
Right? Anyways, it's a holiday. Not, but this is, I'm glad we came. Oh, we got our new books.
Oh, yes.
We're the last to get our books, huh?
I know.
But we got our new books. So this is called The Three Mothers. It's how the mothers of Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and James Baldwin shaped a nation. So this is written by the wife of the Mayor Tubbs in Stockton.
Yes.
His wife wrote this, right? Yeah. I believe it's his wife, not his mom. It's not his mom.
No.
It's his wife.
I think that's what Stefan said.
And did you know that Martin Luther King's mother was assassinated too? So she was assassinated at church playing the organ. Yeah. I learned that. That's not going to be for us. So we're going to go ahead and instead of try to drag it out, we're going to just go ahead and end early because it is a holiday. It is Memorial Day. So we want to send a special shout out to all the fallen soldiers who died serving our country or who died as a veteran from serving our country. Thank you for your service to life and legacy of everyone who has passed. This is Memorial Day. You will be remembered by Mama Clark, Mama Jenny, and the rest of the Yayos, the rest of us here at I Am SAC Foundation. Thank you so much. I'm going to play one more song for us, you guys. And if I can get to it.
Play the rest song.
Right, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to say it's called right here. I've been messed up, stressed out with no luck. Every time I wake up, I get a chance to wake up. Thank God I got a chance to wake up. Wake up, another day to get my cake up. Cake up, cause every time we wake up, I get a chance to wake up. Wake up, wake up. You know, people are anything. Yep. Smooches and juices, you guys. Thank you. Kayla and I made that. Smooches and juices. Love. Peace. Gotta go.